Here's the top stories for September 28th. 26 people are dead from Opong and other weather disturbances, and relief and recovery efforts in affected areas are underway, according to the NDRRMC. ICC takes all necessary measures over detainees' well-being, according to a spokesperson for the ICC. President Marcos assured the public that past fund abuses will not happen again. The Philippines may remain cyclone-free until the start of October, according to PAGASA. Eala yielded to her Kiwi rival in the semifinals of the Jingshan Open. 26 people have died from the combined effects of severe tropical storm Opong, super typhoon Nando, tropical depression Mirasol, and southwest monsoon, as the extent of damage by the successive weather disturbances slowly unraveled after weather conditions finally improved. In a report Sunday, September 28th, the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council disclosed that 9 persons died in Bicol, 8 in Cagayan Valley, 4 in Cordillera Administrative Region, 2 each in Central Luzon and Central Visayas, and 1 in Eastern Visayas. But only 4 deaths have been validated so far, all in the Cordillera Administrative Region, who were victims of landslide. The management of the dead and missing cluster is currently validating other information. Office of Civil Defense spokesperson Junie Castillo said, "The death toll is expected to further increase as there were reports that up to 10 persons perished in eastern Visayas, most of which were in Biliran, where flash floods and a storm surge swept residents who were returning to their homes. 33 persons were also injured, while the number of missing persons was reduced to 14, as 5 fishermen who were previously reported unlocated were found safe in eastern Samar." The Department of Education has also opened several schools as temporary shelters, while the health cluster distributed medical and public health commodities in Cordillera, Central Luzon, Mimaropa, Central Visayas, and Bicol. In total, 137 million pesos worth of relief assistance has been distributed to 149,675 affected families nationwide. The government is working round the clock to provide assistance, restore essential services, and ensure the well-being of our affected kababayan, Castillo assured. The spokesperson for the International Criminal Court clarified that the international body is taking all necessary measures to ensure the well-being of its detainees after Vice President Sara Duterte said that their family received information that detained former President Rodrigo Duterte was once found unconscious in his room. Respecting the right to privacy, we do not comment on matters related to private situation of a detained person, ICC spokesperson Fadi El Abdallah said in a statement on Saturday, September 28th. The court also takes all necessary measures for the preservation of physical and psychological well-being of all detainees, he added. The spokesman also stressed that the ICC acts in accordance with the ICC Rome Statute and relevant applicable rules, and follows the international standards of detained persons having access to consular representatives in response to the Vice President's claims that the ICC violated her father's privacy and endangered his life for allowing the welfare check of officials from the Philippine Embassy in The Hague. Such visits, if any, are strictly conducted with the approval or at the request of the person in detention, the ICC official stressed. The Department of Foreign Affairs also deferred to the ICC spokesman's statement when asked about the former president's medical condition. It also stressed that the consular visit was made by career consular officials of the embassy in a professional, non-intrusive, and respectful manner, and not by any other supposed agents of the government. President Marcos has assured the public that past abuses in flood control and infrastructure projects will not be repeated under his administration, stressing that every peso of public money must directly benefit Filipino families. Speaking in Gonzaga, Cagayan, where he led the distribution of assistance to typhoon-hit residents, the president emphasized the government's accountability in handling taxpayer funds. Marcos underscored that government officials merely serve as caretakers of funds entrusted to them. The president explained that the administration uncovered ghost and substandard flood control projects, prompting him to cancel all such works under the Department of Public Works and Highways for 2026. He vowed that these funds would be channeled to programs that directly address the needs of communities. No low-pressure area or cloud cluster was being monitored inside the Philippine Area of Responsibility, As of Sunday, September 28th, the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration said, PAGASA weather specialist Obet Padrina said the chance of cyclone formation remains slim until Thursday, October 2nd, which means the country may stay cyclone-free until the start of October. He added that Typhoon Bualoy, which exited the Philippine area of responsibility on Saturday, September 27th, is now moving toward Vietnam and no longer affects the country. Padrina said the easterlies, or warm winds from the Pacific Ocean, will be the prevailing weather system, which may bring generally fair weather across most of the country. Alex Eala lost her steam in the crunch and yielded to a familiar rival in Lulu Sun, 3-6, 6-4, 6-2, in the semifinals of the Jingshan Open in China on Saturday, September 27th. The top-seeded Eala squandered a 2-0 second-set lead and failed to recover since then to end her campaign for a second title in the Women's Tennis Association circuit. It was Eala's second loss to the same opponent after she also bowed to the Kiwi in the qualifying round of the Wimbledon Championships last year. A victory for Eala could have set her up a finals date with unseeded Chinese Ma Yexin, who ousted second seed Talia Gibson 4-6, 7-5, 7-5 in the other semifinal pairing. After dominating the opening set and taking a 2-0 lead early in the second frame, the 20-year-old Eala found herself trailing after Sun claimed the next 4 games for a 4-2 advantage. The Filipina retaliated and won the next 2 games, including breaking Sun's serve in the 7th, for a 4-all deadlock. But the Kiwi was relentless and took charge of the frame. It gave Sun the needed momentum heading into the deciding third set, where she cruised to a 4-0 lead and never looked back. Stay updated with the latest news. Visit our website at www.mb.com.ph or follow us on social media. Thanks for tuning in to the Manila Bulletin Daily Rundown.